From the streets of Chicago to the headlines of the world, you are now tuned into the rhythm of real thought. This is the Daily Mix. 15 minutes of uncut perspective starts right now.
Welcome to the Daily Mix, y'all. I'm your host, Omari Jaheed, and I really appreciate you guys spending this 15 minutes with me today on the Daily Mix. We are going to talk about violent crime. We often look at, when we talk about violent crimes, we often look at it from a street perspective. But for millions of women in America, the most dangerous place isn't a dark alley. Statistics show that nearly 2/3 of female homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner or a family member. On today's episode of the Daily Mix, we're pulling back the curtain on a crisis that thrives in silence. We are just looking at the staggering numbers. We're not just looking at numbers. We are asking the hard questions. What is the psychological trigger behind coercive control? What are the deep-seated philosophical beliefs that make an abuser feel entitled to dominance? This isn't just a conversation about statistics, y'all. It's a conversation that we're having today about survival, community, and changing the mindset. Now I want to clarify something. There's a stark difference in how men and women experience violent crime. While men are statistically more likely to be victims of violence by strangers in public, women face their highest risk from those closest to them. Roughly 40 to 50% of female homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner, and another 16% by a family member. Visually, drive home the point. We need to drive this point home that nearly 2/3 of these strategies, or tragedies, I should say, happen within relationships or families. Now, I have to strongly emphasize that these acts are rarely sudden explosions of random anger. They are almost always the peak of an escalating, predictable pattern of abuse. So society, we often assume that an abuser snapped, lost control of their temper, or had a sudden, unpredictable emotional explosion. This view is the violence as a temporary loss of sanity or anger management. We just, how do you say, crashed out, whatever. But the reality is, it is rarely random. Abusers rarely lose control and assault their bosses, co-workers, or police officers. So we know it can't be just when you get angry, you all of a sudden lash out at folks. They don't do the police officers or their bosses like that with anger. They selectively choose when, where, and who to abuse. Therefore, the act is not a loose or a loss of control, but a warped sense of taking their power back. Because abuse follows a specific documented timeline. It is predictable. Behavioral experts can map out the cycle. The abuser systematically strips away the victim's independence, logic, strips away their support system, long before physical blows even are landed. Severe domestic violence is not a mistake born out of hot anger. It is the logical conclusion of a cold, ongoing calculation from total dominance and control. that domestic violence is just an anger management issue. I want to explain that it is a systematic, calculated effort to control a partner's movements, choices, and thoughts. Also, when a woman degrades a man, now this is another thing to look at. When a woman degrades a man with terms like, you a bitch, or you must like men, challenging his manhood or his masculinity. And this keeps happening over a time period. At some point, that man, if he's not strong enough mentally to leave that abusive situation, he will resort to violence. I mean, that's just like, if you really think about it. During slavery, the slave master not only physically abused us, but it's a psychological abuse, emotional abuse. And at some point, slaves revolted. So I think there's not a human being on the planet that will not, over a period of time, fight back from something like that being implemented upon it. Now, there's also an entitlement mindset. Now, we have to really look at how abusers operate from a psychological belief of entitlement, believing their partner owes them absolute compliance, and that boundaries it's a personal attack. Now, this thing about men being the head of the woman is one thing. But I want to say this. I don't believe that a woman should submit to a man if that man has not submitted to God. I'm going to say that again. I do not believe that women should submit to a man that has not acted. I ain't talking about with his mouth, his thought. That if he has not shown actions that he has submitted to God, and that he's under God's influence in some way or another, then that woman should not submit to that man. Because that's the order: God, man, woman, children. Now, we look back historically, legal and cultural ideas that historically treat women as property. Now, women weren't property. They were helpers. Their role were to help men. But again, you can't help a man do nothing. So the man got to be about something. He got to be doing something. And then again, that role of the woman is to help him. Not his property. Not like a car or a pony or a horse or something to that effect. No. Help you. When a subconscious mindset of possession still fuels violence when a partner tries to assert independence or leave. If that person, the partner, decides they don't want to be a partner to this abuse, like I was saying earlier, then it's their God-given right to say, hey, I want out of this. But this is when usually abusers start, out of some psychological madness, decide that they're going to inflict some form of threatening, or threat, I should say, on the person in order to get them to succumb to their will. Examine how rigid social definitions of manhood, which equate masculinity strictly with physical dominance and emotional socialism, forces men to use aggression to resolve inner insecurities. Relational socialism. We have to now introduce the philosophical concept of treating oneself as the only man character in the object rather than an equal human being. Now I want to educate my listeners on the high statistical red flags that appear. Now, if there's a presence of firearms in an abusive home, which raises lethal risk up to 400%. I'm gonna say that again. If there's a firearm in the home of an abuser, then the risk of something happening detrimental to people in that home raises up 400%. And a history of non-fatal situations which make a victim 7 times more likely to be killed in that kind of situation. Now, shifting the narrative, I want to challenge you guys to stop asking, why did she leave? And start, or even on the other hand, why did he leave? If he's in a verbal abusive relationship, because women can be verbally abusive, why didn't they leave? And start asking, why do they abuse? And how is he being held accountable? Look, there's a confidential 24/7 help line that's available through the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm putting the number up on the screen so that you can see it. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. Again, that's 1-800-799-SAFE. Hey, thanks again for participating and being a part of the Daily Mix. I'm your host, Amari Jahi. And until next week, y'all be off for the weekend, but we'll be back on Monday. Now, I'm thinking about changing the time. I'm thinking about starting Monday. I'm probably going to change the time to something like 6 o'clock every day. I might do this from 6 to 6:15, something like that. But I'm still thinking about it. But until next week, you guys have a safe weekend. Look out for each other. Protect your mind, your thoughts, and protect your health. Take care of your mind, take care of your health, and we'll be back in the mix tomorrow at 12 noon. Till then, peace out.